Hey, thank you. Welcome to Shores Prepping. No, I haven't disappeared or anything else. I've signed on and taken a job at a local hospital again. And when I was interviewed and hired, the supervisor told me they were really glad to read my resume, that they were glad that someone of my age, I'm 65, applied for the job, and they were glad to hire me for multiple reasons. One, I have the skill, which is good. Two, I'm willing to work part time. And three, the youth that are applying for the job can't pass a drug test or just show up and can't do the physical work or won't do the physical work, or they get hired and they find out, yeah, it's hard work. You have to show up for the job. You have to be cognizant of your job, meaning you have to be particular on the cleaning. I'm janitor, housekeeper, whatever you want to call it, at a hospital. You can't just be haphazard. You have to actually physically clean, sterilize, sanitize, so when loved ones may be admitted to the hospital, they don't get sick from infection. And these people that were doing the job couldn't give two rips about it and often leave. So they were really glad that they know that I can do the job and I've already been doing it and so on and so forth. But the reason that makes me concerned is that if the youth, younger generations, I'm talking anywhere from 20 to 40 that she said were applying, can't pass a drug test or stay sober long enough or stay on the job long enough without taking paid time off or leave of absence because they have children and they're sick or because they want to go to some concert and they're always calling off. Hospitals are 24/7, folks. And you need someone there that is going to take the job seriously and take care of your loved ones, making sure that when they lay down in bed because they've been admitted or they're sick in the emergency room, they have clean sanitary conditions not to make their injury worse. And these people just aren't doing the job, which brings me to my next point. If the generation, and I don't know what you call them now, Gen Z, Gen X, I don't really care, but if the younger generation shows such disregard for the future and all they want to do is smoke dope, drink, and go to concerts or movies or just, do whatever they do, how are they going to survive when the SHTF happens? They're not out there learning life skills. They're out there partying and having a good old time. And you see that for the idiots that voted for cackling Kamala. They wanted free stuff. They wanted their college debts to be forgiven. They wanted hand-me-downs. They wanted, drugs to be legalized. They wanted all this kind of stuff while they're debating, am I a man today? Am I a boy? Am I a girl? Am I a woman? Am I gender fluid? Whatever nonsense is filling their head, our enemies are not facing that. Our enemies are saying, we are here to kill you, to rule over you, to take what you have, and if you don't like it, do something about it. And they can't, and they won't. So I'm very concerned about the younger generation and the people that are not learning the skills on how to survive. They don't even know how to fish or, hunt game, shoot a gun. My goodness. Even grow gardening. They think, oh, that's just for, I don't need to get my hands dirty. I can go get hummus from the grocery store, whatever these guys eat. I'm a vegan. I'm allergic to flour. I'm allergic to grains. I can only eat certain kind of stuff. I guarantee you 1,000%, when you miss a few meals and you're really hungry and you're starting to get sick from hunger, you will eat whatever is put in front of you and be glad for it. Now is the time to start learning while we are in relative peace, while things have calmed down from the election. Results of Trump being elected are flooding in. Discrimination suits against the First Amendment are being awarded to people who have been violated, censored, by losing their jobs, by being suspended, by being demoted, by being, kicked out of the forces. They are winning lawsuits across this nation against the people that demanded you take the jab or you lose your job, you lose your license, you're shunned. They are winning huge awards, millions of dollars, 10, 20, millions of dollars are being awarded to people or groups that said, wait a minute, the jab does not work. It does not stop the spread of COVID. It does not do anything for you. Masks only stop the big sneezes, the coughs, and everything else. It doesn't stop like these guys were preaching, especially here on YouTube, which censored me multiple times when I said, wait a minute, that's not true. There are consequences for the election, and we're seeing a lot of it where the left wing is losing their minds. And sanity is coming back in saying, wait a minute, let's take this as a rational approach. The Constitution is there for a reason. So you can have free speech and say within reason what you expect and what you demand and what your opinion is without being clubbed over the head, threatened with your livelihood. Doctors have lost their practices. People have been fired. People that had served in the military with honor were drummed out of the military because they said, I'm not putting that poison in my body. I wasn't hired at a job because I refused, actually 2 jobs, because I said, I'm not putting that poison in my body. I'm not doing it. And they refused to hire me. So the tide is turning. I just hope it's not too late for what could happen, the resistance against Trump. They're already stacking stuff against him to make it more difficult for a president who was elected with a mandate to turn back the tide of insanity. The same people that are saying, we're going to be the resistance against Trump, do not care about the country. They only care about their immediate self. There's too much stuff happening around the world. Syria is in serious trouble. Not that I support Assad, the dictator, but the fall of Syria has global implications. That could be a flashpoint, as said in the book of Isaiah about the fall of Damascus. The enemies of Israel. So now you have Russian troops, Russian Air Force bombing the militants coming in. The leader of the militants still has a $10 million bounty on his head from when the Americans and the American soldiers were fighting him in Iraq. He still has a $10 million bounty on his head because he's Al-Qaeda. Iran is saying we are going to rearm, resupply this group. Turkey is supporting these guys as well. And Turkey has no love for the United States, even though he's a NATO ally with a question mark behind him. There's a whole lot of things going on that is anti-Israel, that is, putting the fuel to the fire. Australia has gone almost totally anti-Semitic, allowing businesses, synagogues to be burned, ransacked, people of the Jewish faith attacked openly on the streets. Here in the United States, Columbia University is now publishing Hamas propaganda pamphlets and a newsletter while declaring Israel a terrorist state. It's unbelievable. Canada has gone so far left-wing that mosques are now being burned openly in Toronto by the Muslim population. The number one name in England being overrun by the Muslim population is now Muhammad, is the number one boy's name in England. What does that tell you? Merry old England has gone bye-bye. And it won't be long before it happens here. This is a house of cards. And the people below my generation don't have the stomach, the guts, or the skills to defend their lifestyle or their country if they choose to even do so. Keep an eye on Syria. When Damascus falls, it's all over. The Middle East will be in turmoil, even more so. Just my advice to you, keep an eye open, what's going on. The resistance here in the United States is just beginning against Trump. Once he takes office, I look for a lot more to happen. Thank you for liking and subscribing. See you when I see you. Greg out.